live on YouTube, and I'm turning the mic over to you. Robert, this mic is all yours.
Good morning, everyone. As Lynn says, I don't talk much, so I'm going to just put something up here in the share, and if somebody wants to read, I'll be more than happy to let you. So let me get that going here. So there we are. I'm going to try to make this bigger. Oops, too much. Okay, so if somebody would start with the prayer, I'd appreciate it. Anyone at all.
Would anybody like to read the truly helpful prayer and start reading here?
I can say the truly helpful prayer.
Thank you.
Everybody take a breath. Settle in. So much gratitude to be here. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Amen.
Thank you, Karen. Pick up from there. There.
Because there is so much to be covered today, I'm going to dispense with any music. For those visiting for the first time, the reason I do not speak much is that I lost my voice to the ravages of treatment for throat cancer. Others read for me, and I am grateful for both. You have probably noticed that the list of essays grows longer each week. We may read up to 3 essays on any given Monday, but I write an average of 2 or more per day. All my newest essays are posted on my Facebook page almost daily and cross-posted to several other ACIM Facebook groups. Join and friend me to read the essays while the ink is still drying. Thanks.
And I'll put that in the chat later.
I want to share a quick update about my books and future offers. For a long time, I've given many titles away for free. I did it with good intention. You lost me.
I'm sorry, did I lose you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, there we go.
All right, I wanted people to read them, enjoy them, and hopefully find something meaningful in them. But I've realized that giving them away sends the wrong message. It implies the work has little or no value, and that isn't true. These books took years of experience, study, and care to create. They matter to me, and I hope they matter to the people who read them. Putting a real price on them reflects that value. Because of that, I'm bringing almost all free book promotions to an end. The exceptions are the 3 new novels. The current discounted prices will stay in place until Christmas. After that, the books will return to their original pricing. The books will remain available on Amazon and through my website, and I'll continue to share thoughts and excerpts on social media. I appreciate everyone who has supported my writing and I'm grateful for those who have taken the time to read, comment, and reach out. Your interest means more than you know. If you've read any of my books and found something meaningful in them, I'd be grateful if you'd take a moment to leave a review. Reviews truly matter. They help other readers decide if a book is right for them, and they help authors like me reach people who might never find the book otherwise. On Amazon, just go to the books page, scroll down to customer reviews, click write a customer review, choose a star rating, and share a few honest thoughts. On Goodreads, search for the book, click write a review, select your rating, and add a brief comment or reflection. Your review doesn't need to be long or polished. A few sincere sentences make a real difference, and I deeply appreciate every one of them. Thank you for understanding this change and for being part of this ongoing journey. As a reminder, as you may have heard, I finished a second novel. The Typewriter is the story of an old man who finds a mystical typewriter in his attic that actually reads and types his thoughts and inspirations, with a surprise ending that introduces a sequel. I will put the link in the chat, https www.amazon.com, etc. For those who have asked about the sequel to The Typewriter, The Boy Who Found the Typewriter, I realized that trying to summarize the story wouldn't capture what this next novel is really about. The sequel isn't just a continuation of events. It's a continuation of the inner journey that the first book began. Rather than offer a synopsis, I want to share the sequel epilogue. It reflects the heart of the sequel far better than any synopsis could. The epilogue speaks in the first person, and it gives a quiet glimpse into the deeper direction this next book is taking. Let me share that with you now. Here is the link to The Boy Who Found the Typewriter. Let me go.
Yeah.
Epilogue, the key that still speaks. Writing this novel became its own kind of conversation, not with a machine of ink and metal, but with the same voice the boy discovered, the one that answers only when we are honest, the one that teaches without claiming authority, the one that waits patiently beneath the noise of our lives. As I wrote, I found myself listening to the typewriter, regardless of the name you or I give it. Some call it intuition. Some call it spirit. Some call it truth speaking softly through the cracks. I have made mistakes in my life. I have taken detours, clung to identities, defended illusions, and forgotten what matters. But the typewriter has never judged any of that. It simply exposed what was real and waited for me to recognize it. Every chapter of this story allowed me to reflect on my own growth. Slow, uneven, beautiful in its incompleteness. I discovered that clarity is not something we achieve. It is something we allow. And willingness, once given, begins to undo everything that is not true. The learning never ends. But there comes a time when the lessons are learned deeply enough that they no longer need to be repeated. A time when the mind grows quiet. A time when the heart remembers its own direction. A time a time when the journey outward turns inward again. And when that time comes, we can finally return home. Let's see, just a minute. Not as a place we travel to, but as a recognition of what we never left. The end of our journey is the beginning of another. Just as the boy set the typewriter down and stepped forward, I close these pages with gratitude and anticipation. A new chapter awaits. A new willingness forms. A new beginning unfolds in silence. And somewhere in that quiet, the typewriter speaks again. You are still listening, and I am.
Thank you, honey. Let me just stop the share long enough to put this stuff in the chat. And if any of you would like to comment on that, go ahead. I'm having trouble navigating right now. Just bear with me a second. I lost it there. So many things open. I'm trying to keep track on. Oh man. Even I'm losing. Here we go. Okay, here's the stuff in the chat. Would anybody like to comment before I move forward? Okay, well, all righty. There was something else I wanted to share. Here we go. I wanted to share this as well.
Karen has her hand up.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, thank you. That was beautiful. And I just wanted to comment on the idea of the reviews, how important they are. They really are important, for everything. Because even when you buy something on Amazon, I know for me, I do look at the comments before I buy something just because it's very, very helpful. So I write comments only really, I try not to write negative comments unless it's really, really bad. And, it's like, it's not even worth buying not even a book. I'm talking about something that's supposedly useful, but not. But I usually don't write bad comments, but I think it's helpful. So I just wanted to stress how important that is. Thanks.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. I did write one essay that I really wanted to share with this morning because it talks about, well, I'll let you figure it out. You want to read again? Okay. I gotta make it bigger for you. Yeah, hold on. Oh, here we are. I'm getting old.
We all get older daily.
Yeah, thank you. Stop reminding me. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Listening beyond the page. Years ago, someone told me that my gift was applying course ideas to real life situations and problems. At the time, I didn't know what to do with that observation. I wasn't trying to teach anything formally, and I certainly didn't see myself as someone with a special role. I was simply trying to understand my own experience and make sense of what the course was pointing toward, not in theory, but in practice. Only later did I begin to see that this comment wasn't about talent or authority. It was about translation. It was about taking ideas that often feel abstract and letting them meet ordinary human moments where fear, confusion, guilt, and love actually show up. That realization eventually led to a deeper concern. If we truly accept the idea that we are all teachers of God, then the classroom cannot be limited to familiar language, familiar audiences, or familiar formats. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. Comfort zones are where understanding settles into habit, where language becomes shorthand, and where insights risk turning into slogans. Stepping outside that zone is uncomfortable by definition, but it may be the only place where real communication happens. The concern became one of the quiet drivers behind my writing. I wasn't interested in repeating ideas for people who already agreed with them. I wanted to explore how these principles live and breathe in places where they are not expected, and sometimes not even welcomed. That intention shaped 31 Flavors of Fear. The title alone made some people uneasy, which was not accidental. The book was never meant to instill fear. It was written to clarify it. Fear, as the Course teaches, is not the problem itself, but the symptom of a deeper confusion. The distinction between form and content is easy to discuss, but difficult to see consistently in daily life. Fear wears many disguises. It can look reasonable, justified, even protective. By naming its many flavors, I was not multiplying fear, but stripping away its camouflage. When fear is recognized as form rather than content, it loses its authority. It becomes something to observe rather than obey. Still, essays and reflections tend to circulate within a fairly narrow audience. At some point, I had to admit that much of what I was writing was being read by people already fluent in the language of the Course. There's nothing wrong with that, but it does raise an honest question. If the ideas point to something universal, why confine them to a specialized community? Why keep preaching to the choir? That question opened the door to fiction. Novels offered a different kind of access. Stories allow ideas to be encountered rather than explained. They invite readers to recognize themselves without being told what to think. Fiction bypasses intellectual defenses in a way that essays often cannot. It doesn't argue, it shows. The trial grew out of this impulse. I wanted to illustrate the difference between form and content in a way that felt lived rather than taught. The courtroom setting was not chosen for drama alone. It allowed archetypes to take the stand. Fear, guilt, innocence, and judgment could be seen, operating as patterns of thought rather than personal flaws. Readers didn't need to know anything about the Course to understand what was happening. They only needed to recognize how the mind prosecutes itself and how easily it mistakes accusation for truth. The setting was form. The movement toward clarity was content. With the typewriter, the focus shifted again. This story was not about theology or doctrine. It was about listening. One of the most persistent misconceptions about spiritual guidance is that it requires a special environment, special training, or special status. The novel challenges that idea by placing the voice for God in an unexpected object and an ordinary life. The message is simple, but easily missed. Guidance is not rare. Willingness is. The typewriter does not speak because it is magical. It speaks because someone is willing to listen without agenda. That distinction matters. The story is not about where the voice comes from, but about the quiet readiness that allows it to be heard. The setting could have been anything. The point was that truth is not confined to sacred spaces or approved language. That same intention guided the boy who found the typewriter. This book pushed even further away from overt spiritual framing. It was important to me that course principles could be shared without religious tone or instructional posture. Young readers, especially, are sensitive to preaching. They don't resist truth. They resist being talked down to. By letting the story carry the ideas implicitly, the book demonstrates that clarity does not require labels. Love does not need branding. Insight does not depend on vocabulary. Across all of these projects, the thread is the same. Content matters. Form serves. When form becomes the focus, the message is lost. When content leads, form becomes flexible, creative, and responsive. Looking back, I can see that none of these books were written to persuade. They were written to invite. They were attempts to meet readers where they are, rather than insisting they come to a particular place, language, or tradition. That, to me, is what it means to teach by extension rather than instruction. If there is a conclusion to be drawn, it is not about writing at all. It is about willingness. The ideas we value most do not ask us to defend them. They ask us to live them. And living them sometimes means letting go of familiar forms so that content can speak for itself. The voice does not need our protection. It needs our attention, and it can be heard anywhere by anyone willing to pause, listen, and trust that meaning is not confined to the places we once thought it was.
Thank you, God. Did you want to offer your own thoughts?
Well, the last couple of days have been interesting. I read the no,
Oh, the boy?
the boy.
Yeah.
I read the story about the boy first, and it was interesting because I couldn't put it down. I had to finish it. And my first comment to Bob after reading it was, how soon can I get a copy of this book to send to my 19-year-old grandson for Christmas? Because it was speaking to someone his age, someone who was filled with so many questions, so many concerns, so much that is expected or that he feels is expected of him by his parents, by his teachers, by his friends. And it was written in a way that just absolutely spoke to youngsters who are trying to figure out so much about their life and where they're going. And thankfully, I can get a Kindle version in time for Christmas, but the printed book is going to take a little longer. But if you have youngsters that age in your family, in your knowledge, in your whatever you do, I would very much recommend it. Last night, because Bob said, well, you should have read this other book first. And I said, well, I frequently do things backwards. That's just the way I approach life. And I started to read The Typewriter. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. And Bob had gone to bed, and I kept reading and reading and reading. And I could not stop. I could not put it down. And at, I don't know, 11 o'clock last night, Bob came out and said, are you ever going to go to bed? And I said, not if you keep writing. But at any rate, finished that book. And that really deeps into what Bob has been living the past 2 years. Not really knowing where everything comes from that says get up at 4 a.m. and type. And the typewriter is his laptop, but it's there, and he is just driven to keep writing and writing and writing, because for some reason it seems that he has been chosen to do this. And I'm just thankful that it can be shared with a lot of other people. That's it.
Thank you. I don't, at this point, I don't know what to say. She said anything that I could so much better. And the other thing that that I kind of joke about is that it's like, I don't know, give me a second, I need to get my composure back too. It's I'm not really confident how much longer I'm going to be here. And the reason is very simple. This body is falling apart faster than a sandcastle in the surf line. So anyway, yeah, do me a favor. Can you pick up right here at this point right here? Can you see that?
Awakening the Soul is another compilation of essays and is currently available on Amazon Kindle and in paperback formats.
And I put the chat, I put it in the link already
Okay.
in the chat.
This segment should never be about what I want to say, but what you and or I may need to hear. With that in mind, who would like to select and read an essay? Ask your inner teacher which one sounds right for you. This is a rotating list. Each week, new items are added and previously shared items are archived. I write an average of 2 essays a day. We share maybe 3 each Monday.
And I'm going to bring up the list.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring up the bottom of the list, because these are the newer ones. And I'll make that a little bit bigger. So either, I know we've only got Lynn, Linda, and Karen, but if any of you would like to pick one, then, and you're willing to read it, because Cherie is about ready to lose her composure. Nobody? Okay. I guess we're gonna be done early then. And we'll be back again at 4 o'clock. I'll be back with Sharon. Oh, Karen, go ahead. You got one?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. First of all, that's so beautiful, your writing, and thank you for reading, both of you. And what I'm hearing is this such willingness from you, this willingness to, be not only listening to Holy Spirit, but being driven by Holy Spirit to write these essays. And for your reader, you're looking at, not just, I like what you said, it's not just for course people, quote unquote, it's for everyone. And it gives everyone an opportunity to see things differently without being, this is a course in miracles, or this is that, or, it's not any kind of label. It's just an invitation to experience something different in a story where you can basically see things differently and not be threatened like the boy, a 19-year-old boy, Cherie's grandson, how all kids that age feel, like they feel like these expectations by their parents, their teachers, even their friends, but especially their parents. And to just be able to not be judged and to read in this freedom of, wow, I'm important and I don't need to be or do anything to be important. I am perfect just the way I am. So I just think
Exactly.
yeah, that's it. That's your message. And that's a beautiful
Yeah.
message. And I love it. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, the boy who found the typewriter is on sale for 0 in Amazon today. So if anybody wants to jump on that link, they can get a free copy today. If nobody has any other comments, I'm going to be able to rest until we come back on again tonight with Sharon. And there's a good possibility this may be repeated because the afternoon is a much bigger group than this one. So anyway, again, Karen, thank you for your comments. And then thank you so much for allowing me to be here and share what I'm learning.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Cherie. I do appreciate you guys both so much. And I'm grateful that you chose to come with us. And it really is a gift for us as well. And, of course, I would read more, but I'm having voice issues also.
Yeah,
But not, I mean, seriously, I do appreciate that you're willing to share and that you give so freely of yourself.
thank
So
you.
thank you, thank you,
And
thank you.
by the way, I am going to be back here at 11, just in case some of the people that I invited show up at 11.
Oh no, did you invite them at 11?
Well, oh no, I invited mine at 10,
Oh, okay.
but you invited people at 11.
Well, yeah, but people don't really look at that. Yeah, I bet you're probably the only person who actually looked at what time you were scheduled on that list, because people just don't look. I send it out, like I said, I send it out today so that people would know that Gloria and I were on. This was the third Monday of the month, but I and
I
so
guess
did other people.
I guess once a nerd, always a nerd.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Thank you so much, Robert. And thank you, Cherie.